Hello, welcome to Giggles and Gratitude. I'm Dena.
And I'm Tia, and today is October 27th, 2024.
Yes, Tia. How was your week, my friend?
It was good. It was really good.
Good. Here we like to talk about things that we're grateful for
Mm-hmm.
and we have gratitude for during the week, things that made us giggle. And then Tia always has some great inspirational quotes to share from Christian leaders that we both find inspiring. Sometimes I do. Or a lot of times I question Tia and pick her Christian brain. Put her on the spot, that kind of thing. But this week I have more about into my secular life. Things that I did and things that happened to me. But I'm grateful for some of them. Not all of them. We don't talk about politics here, but everybody knows we are voting now. And we have early voting in our area. I'm not sure that's the same from state to state when early voting starts. I don't know, but we're in the southeast. And I thought, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to do it. It's hard for me to be away from my mom for too long, but I thought I'll do early voting because early voting there'll be less people than election day. So there's a couple of places to vote in my hometown and one near the house. So I went to that one. So I pulled up. Well, I expected a line, but it was wrapped around the building kind of line outside. And it was a beautiful day. I thought, well, the weather's fine. So I'll just take my phone and play games on my phone and stand in line. So I got into the line. There was very nice people in front of me and we talked and we scooted up very slowly. More people got behind me. So there I was and we were all talking and laughing. And I thought, this is fine. It's perfect weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Well, my little tummy started rumbling. And I know you can identify this with this, Tia. We both have digestive issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, ruh-roh. And I know the bathroom at this place, it's the bottom of an old school, the basement of an old school. The bathroom, it used to be a supply closet. And the toilet is just pretty gross, pretty disgusting. And it's right in the line. In other words, you can hear everything that goes on in this bathroom. And the line is wrapped around the bathroom door. So I thought, I can't do that. Just let it pass, let it pass. Now, when you were having your issues that you've talked about with your tummy and you were out, was there any kind of psychological tricks you could do to, like, go to a happy place to stop it?
There was no happy place. I mean, it was going to come or...
You can't, it's not like
you can't.
tinkle. You can hold a tinkle, sort of. I can't as much as...
Kinda.
Yeah, when you're
The
young.
older we get, the harder it is. But
And I'm like, doing it, well, it's not working. Yeah, so I thought, well, I'm going to have to bow out of here. I can't do this. So I thought maybe I can go to a restaurant and go and come back. But I was like, well, shoot. My mom just texted me and looked down at my phone. I've got to go home. There was no sound on my phone of a text or anything like that. I just looked down and, because I had become friends with these people around me, they were like, oh no, we're almost into the building. No. And I said, no, I've really got to go. So I had a long way to walk to my car, and you know how you're trying to walk, and it makes it worse when you walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped in the car. I made it home because home was close enough, but I thought, I'm just not going to go back. I was discouraged, and I thought, well, I've got more days I can do this. Next day, go out, get in line, actually get into the building. The same thing happens again. I leave. That was even more awkward. The third time I go back and think, I'm not going to talk to anybody, so it won't be so awkward about leaving. I'm just going to be stone-faced and be this rude person that's just looking down, and nobody will notice that I slip out. So the same thing happened again. And I said, the woman said, oh, you're just so close. You've got to go. You've got to stay. I said, no, I think I'm going to come back. I have an appointment, and I'm just having to wait too long to go. So it had to become psychological at that point. You know, me thinking, oh, I bet you I'll have to go to the bathroom. Even when I went before I left. So it reminded me of when I look at books. If I go to a bookstore or a library, that happens to me. Do you have any weird thing that you do that always triggers your body to do? I don't know what it is. It's psychological.
Mine just either is or it isn't. I mean, there's nothing that triggers me.
I get no warning. It's just like...
I didn't either until I started getting infusions.
Yeah, you start having treatment. So maybe I'm more soft than I think I am. Well, the fourth time I took Pepto-Bismol, I ate little Pepto-Bismol tablets, and I didn't eat. I thought, I'm getting up, I'm not going to eat any breakfast, eat the Pepto-Bismol, go get in line. It was iffy for a moment, but I made it through. So I voted. Yay me. So I am grateful that I live in a country where I can vote. Not always crazy about the options and the choices, but at least you can make a choice. And how do you feel about that? Have you voted yet?
I'm going tomorrow. Because every day that I've gone, it's been, ours is not a building. The place that we vote, I mean, it's been an entire strip center. So the least amount of time that anybody's waited is like, that I know, is 2 hours.
The least amount of time?
Least.
It took me 45 minutes because I thought I'm going to time it. But the other lady said she had been waiting 2 hours, so I don't know what had slowed down the process, you know.
Well, in our place, there's only 4 voting booths, is what I read.
Yeah, I think that's what ours was too. But I live in a much smaller town than you do. But there was a lot of elderly people who were trying to understand, because our voting process is a little different. It was like you put in a paper, use a machine, and then it prints the paper. Then you got to carry the paper. And I think it was just a little confusing for some of our elderly folks, you know. But I'm so glad I got it done. So that's my gratitude that I was able to do it, and it's out of the way. And I think it's great.
That'll be mine next week, I can assure you.
Yeah. And I think it's great that so many people are turning up, you know, whether they vote for the person you would vote for. It's participation is really, I think this is going to be a record amount of voting, in my opinion. So don't take that for granted. My mother couldn't leave. She did absentee voting. This was fairly easy to do. So could do that too. I think it's too late now, but all right. My car. So I did that. So I'm grateful for that. I have a little blue car, a little blue Toyota. Its name's Little Blue, coincidentally. And then I have my parents' car named Walter, who is a silver Mazda. Do you name your cars?
No.
You don't?
No. Never have I done that in my life.
You just call it my car? Is that how you refer to it?
No, I just say...
If you and Greg are leaving, you say, let's get in my car?
Yes.
Okay, Greg's car and your car.
My car, yeah.
Okay. Now, when my father passed away, my mother said, we haven't driven our car in a long time, and that's not good to have it sit there. Why don't you start driving? What became Walter. And Walter is a wagon, like a crossover vehicle wagon.
SUV, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Well,
it's not like a square. Yeah, I guess that would be an SUV. But Walter the wagon, and sometimes I call him Wally. But so I started driving Walter, and enjoyed it. A lot of things I enjoyed about that. It's up high. Little Blue's little, so Little Blue's low to the ground. But I like to scooter put around in Little Blue. Little Blue holds a lot. Little Blue's been with me through so much. I've had Little Blue since 2010. So it's seen a lot of drama in my life, a lot of crud. I've cried a lot in that car. I've sung a lot in that car. But I stopped driving it. I ignored Little Blue. I would hop in Wally because Wally's radio was better and seats were more comfortable. The seats were heated. And
okay. Wally is short for Walter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and Wally is younger than Little Blue. And, you know, younger men are just more attractive. Anyway, not taking this too far. So my point of my story is my dad has bought me any car I've ever owned. I've never bought my own car. I'm not bragging or anything because there's nothing really to brag about. But since I was 16 years old, every car I've had, my dad has just like, I'm getting you a car. Go pick it out. Because that's the way my dad was. And he did it for other people in our family too. And so I was driving along thinking about how both these cars still that my dad bought and provided for us and his family. So I'm grateful for that. But I began to ignore Little Blue. And you can't ignore a car. Year and a half I haven't driven Little Blue. So I thought, I'm going to take Little Blue, covered in pollen, and go wash it and go just say, look, start one end, go to the other, because I don't want to ignore my little car because it's been so good to me. And I couldn't get it to start. Imagine that. So I had to jump it off. The tires were flat just from just sitting. So I had to pump up all the tires with a little pump my mom got me. It's a little portable pump. Did that. Went to the car wash. At every stoplight, it would go dug, 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 and shake all over. I thought it was going to stop. Got through the car wash. I went to the garage, and they said, this is going to take all day to do this. So, you're going to have to come back and plan for that. So I haven't done that yet. But I've been driving Little Blue around just a little every day, like around the blocks, walking distance from my house in case I have to walk. But I was thinking, why are you putting so much into this car? It's old, 2009, I think it is. And it's got a lot of miles on it. I just can't let go of it. It's just something about that car and attached to my dad and going around in it. And so I just felt, I laughed at myself what I was out there doing to try to get this car started. But I felt such gratitude. I almost started crying. And you know me, it takes a lot to make me cry. Just grateful for my dad. It makes me think about my dad and what he did for all of us in the family and how generous he was. And that was like a day and a half worth of my week. So that was the other thing I did this week. So that was another gratitude. And then a giggle, a fun thing. And I know you don't agree with it, but I went to a haunted house with my niece. It's out on a farm, and it was to raise money. A portion was to raise money for a policeman's family. A policeman was killed. I think it's been probably a year now in the line of duty. So it was to raise money for his family. So I thought that was good. Well, my niece, it was my niece's daughter that was going. My niece decided to go too, and she said, now, I'll say her name, London. That's my great niece. She may chicken out. If you buy tickets in advance, which you need to do because the lines are so long, you're not going to get your money back. But she's going to chicken. She could chicken out. She's never been to a haunted house. And I said, well, I'll go with that thought. She's 10. So we show up, get out of the car, and it's kind of out in a pasture, and you're waiting to go in. Well, all of a sudden, the scariest clown you can imagine comes out of the woods with a chainsaw. And is running right toward us. Well, I start screaming and hiding behind the family, my niece, holding her in front of me. My great niece, who was 10, stands her ground. The clown comes right up to her with that chainsaw right at her face. They had the chain out of it, I hope, the blade out of it. But it's running with its off, and she says, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? And goes through the whole haunted house, just strolling along, saying, hey, what's up with you? And people jumping in. I am just dying back.
Wow.
So that was my giggle at myself, I guess, that at my age it scares me to death. It scares me to death.
That's why I don't go.
Yeah, I kind of like to.
Kudos to London. No, she is my hero right now.
Yeah, and
Period.
they were kind of confused. The clown was looking at her like, what?
Hey,
you're supposed to be
up?
running. You're supposed to be screaming. They had all this Freddy and Michael Myers, all the scary movies characters there, and they were just all surrounding her trying to scare her, and she was just like strutting along. So she's a better man than me. So that was fun.
A better man than you?
Yeah, a better girl than me.
Okay.
She's more of a man than me, that's for sure. But this time of year, I think I like to get scared. I know it's a tricky subject when it comes to Christianity, but I just keep the idea of fun. We're just silly family get together having fun like that. It's not, we don't decorate or anything like that. And I discovered, Tia, that, do you know what duck nails are?
What?
Duck nails. They're in style now. I know you keep your nails perfect and get them done regularly, and they always look great. And duck nails are, did you see the picture? These are duck nails. That's what's hot right now. And I'll put a picture in our show notes. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Do they use them to eat?
They do look like shovels or spoons, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Well, duck nails are a nail style that imitates the shape of a duck bill. It's real wide at the tip and then narrows to the back. And this, when I was in beauty school...
Mine are completely opposite.
Yeah.
Mine are called the coffin.
Coffin shape. That's my favorite, too.
Very narrow and then square.
Yeah, that's what I like, too. Rounded corners. Slightly rounded corners. Those are perfect. But these are also called trumpet nails. And they're just edgy. They're youthful. So if you want to appear younger, you could get these big.
I would never, ever.
I just don't think they're attractive. And there's no way you could pick your nose. No way.
I would hope you wouldn't be picking your nose, but that's beside the point.
All right. And I could let you speak. Did you do anything this week?
Well, yeah, I did a lot this week, but I just thought this was fun. I found this on my sister's Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And
shout out, sister.
And I liked it, but of course she would have had an author that, this is the author's name, and I actually looked up how to pronounce it. And it's Shunichi Kawaguchi.
Well, I'm just going to take your word for that.
Okay. Well, I'll show you but yeah. Okay, and this is what it says. Because the title of the quote, whatever poem, that's not a poem, quote, is Before the Coffee Gets Cold.
Okay.
Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Don't leave anything for later. Later, the coffee gets cold. Later, you lose interest. Later, the day turns into night. Later, people grow up. Later, people grow old. Later, if life goes by. Later, life goes by. Later, you regret not doing something when you had the chance. Life is a fleeting dance, a delicate balance of moments that unfold before us, never to return in quite the same way again. Regret is a bitter pill to swallow, a weight that bears down upon the soul, with the burden of missed chances and unspoken words. So, let us not leave anything for later. Let us seize the moments as they come, with hearts open and arms outstretched to embrace the possibilities that lie before us. For in the end, it is not the things we did that we regret, but the things we left undone, the words left unspoken, the dreams left unfulfilled.
That's great.
I thought that was really pretty.
As a procrastinator, I could take heed to that.
Okay, that's the name.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with how you pronounce that.
Well, no, I looked it up.
Oh, you did?
No, of course I did.
Yeah, y'all need to look at that to give them credit. Yeah, I mean, it's always you want to wait for the ideal situation. Time's not right to do this. You know, people say like with kids, if you wait for the ideal time to have kids, you're never going to have kids, you know?
Right.
So I think that's something we all can remember, especially me, because I am a procrastinator. I think, I'll do that tomorrow. Fiddle-dee-dee. Tomorrow's another day. Fiddle-dee-dee.
Why put off till tomorrow what you could do today?
Yeah. And mine is like, why put off till tomorrow something you can do next week?
Okay, wow.
It's not good. I'm not advising it. I'm just recognizing it.
Okay, good.
And you know, Tia, you finished up your series about Revelation, what that's going to look like when Jesus returns, all that, the last 6 weeks, and hopefully people followed along. And there was a great book by Max Lucado to follow. Are you doing anything new, or are you just kind of keeping it light this week? Or
I'm doing a Bible study, and it's, I forgot the title, but it's like the balance of life, you know, trying to balance your body and your mind, your soul, your spirit, everything, all at the same time.
We could all use that.
And so I just started that. And then, regarding Revelation, found out that Dr. Jeremiah's got a book coming out, The Golden Age. And he explained that thing, but I'm going to listen to it and get his book and read more on it, because he just kind of explained it a little bit more in detail.
It'd be interesting to see how they compare.
Coincide,
yeah, how it's like the attitude, the vision,
Well, Dr. Jeremiah is 88, I think, and Max is, 70s, something. So, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can ever read enough, research enough, learn enough, get inspired enough. We're learning every day. I think you have
Right.
to do that. So it's
Absolutely.
not like, well, I got that down. Revelation next.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pass that quiz. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm with you. I don't think you can ever learn too much. And I think that the more you chase the knowledge, the better person you become.
Mm-hmm. I think God will reveal things to you when He sees that you're opening your mind and your heart and search. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Pursuing Him.
Mm-hmm.
Pursuing the knowledge that He's given us. And I see it a different way. You know, we do the Bible recap every year with Terry Lee Cobble, and every year I forgot that happened, or I don't remember hearing that last year, or, you know, it just never gets old.
Never.
The Bible never gets old.
Mm-mm. Well, can I give you some quotes that I found? Because
Yes.
Our preacher this Sunday, that's how I found them. Have you ever heard of Paul David Tripp?
I think I have, but I can't place why.
He's got some really awesome.
Is it two-piece, Paul David Tripp?
Paul David Tripp.
Two-piece, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It is two-piece. I thought you said, is it two what?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I always like to give him credit.
Well, absolutely. Okay, you tell me what you think.
Okay.
God never intended for us to simply be the objects of His love. We're also called to be the instruments of that love in the lives of others.
Yes. I totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, there's a reason why you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been told. You know, once you give your life to Christ, to God, and you're a Christian, there's really no point for you to be here anymore if you're not sharing that with others, sharing the gospel with others, and, you know, doing good deeds for others and showing love to others. And people are kind of like, what have you done for me lately, God? You know, I've had people say that kind of to me, you know, like, well, why is everything going bad now? You know,
Really?
I think God loved me, and why am I having these problems now? And that's kind of not the point. Is what are you going to get from it?
I think as long as you've got breath in your lungs, God's not finished with you. He can still use you.
Right. You're here for a reason.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, ready for another one?
Mm-hmm.
We forget that God's primary goal is not changing our situations or relationships so that we can be happy, but changing us through our situations and relationships so that we will be holy.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
what
I
you just said.
So that's what I need to say to the people that say that to me.
Exactly.
Let me read it. We forget that God's primary goal is not changing our situation or relationship so that we can be happy,
Right.
but changing us through our situations or relationships so that we can be holy.
Just those people that say that to you, say, "Are you holy?
Yeah. Are you holy yet?
God's still working on you."
Yeah.
That's why everything is in disarray, because He's trying to make you holy.
Yes.
Hold on.
That's great, Tia. I love that. I love that. I've got to memorize that.
Okay. All right, I'll send it to you, and then you put it on the refrigerator, and
I can't remember anything.
memorize it.
Yeah. So if you're not happy, so when they say, I love God, I do everything I think I'm supposed to do, I thought God was the answer to everything, why am I not happy? Yeah, I've said that to somebody one time. They said, that's not the goal in life, to be happy. And I thought, what are you talking about? I said, I just don't think you're willing to be happy. That's not my goal. So they were smarter than me. Goal is to be holy. Okay, I'm sorry.
It is to be holy. Okay. The cross guarantees that even in your darkest moment, God will never turn in disgust and walk away. There is no rebellion, no weakness, no foolishness, no evil of heart that the cross can't defeat and that grace can't transform.
Let me see. This is Paul. These are all Paul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cross guarantees that even in your darkest moment, God will never turn in disgust and walk away.
Right.
Whew,
and
that's
isn't
a good
that
thing.
wonderful?
Yes. I've been pretty disgusting.
Oh, that's what I did. I went, when I read that.
There's no rebellion, no weakness, no foolishness, no evil of heart that the cross can't defeat and grace can't transform. That's a good quote for people in prison. You and I have talked about how prison ministry really appeals to us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that you could really remind people of in that ministry, which we still need to pursue that when I have more time.
Well, yes. I don't know how we could work it in right now, but we need to. But I think that's for everybody, not just people in prison. Because like Jesus took every one of our sins before we were even born and took them to the cross. And he died a criminal's death. And he was the one without sin. And all of us were. So it's nothing we can do right now in our lives that would make God turn away from us.
Right. That word foolishness really stood out to me. Yeah, I have been.
Yeah, me too. Okay. There is a God of awesome grace who meets his children in moments of darkness and difficulty. He is worth running to. He is worth waiting for. He brings rest when it seems like there is no rest to be found. Dena.
Exactly.
Because you're the one that sits up.
Yeah, I can't sleep.
And not. Okay, you just have to say, give me rest.
I did that last night.
You did?
Yes.
Did it work?
It did.
Thank you.
Yeah. I lay there and I said, Dena, just lay here with your eyes closed and ask God to just give you peace. Even if you can't sleep, just give your mind peace and calm. Of course, I fell asleep once I did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, no, just lay here, and almost felt euphoric in a way. Like I felt like I was filled with peace in my brain, and almost like I'd had a little bit of wine, even though I hadn't. Once I did that, and I guess that was God answering that.
Well, it was
call
Holy
for peace.
Spirit in you that was just soothing you, where you could just shut the mind off and go to sleep.
Yeah, I had so much in my brain. I was going through my phone and looking at all the horribleness, stupid, between blue light and the.
That's why you. Makes me crazy.
Yeah. Do you put your phone aside? Do you put
I don't get on social media. I don't get on just because of that.
At night, do you have your phone nearby in case it rings, or do you keep it?
I have it on the nightstand, face down.
Face down.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. See, I gotta keep it. I keep it like in my bed, like under my pillow.
There's no way I could do that.
Yeah, I can't solve the world's problems, but yeah, I actually thought of our conversation. I thought, all right, this is your chance to test that out and to trust God and just have Him.
It worked.
Next thing I know, the alarm's going off. So I went to sleep and didn't realize it. I felt like I didn't, but hours had passed, so it worked.
Was Boogie snuggled up beside you?
Yes, of course. God, that always helps to reach out. And
yes, it does.
Feel a warm pup.
Okay, I've got one more.
Okay.
Okay. Again, still Paul David.
Okay, I'm liking him a lot.
Me too.
Now, do you know anything about him? I didn't want to put you on the spot. Is he young, old, or author, I guess? A pastor?
I think he's 73.
Okay.
I think.
That's a random number to pick. I think he's 73.
Maybe.
73 and a half.
I don't know. I'll look
he's
it
in
up
his 70s.
again.
Okay, well, I just thought that was pretty specific.
We must begin by admitting that people and situations do not cause us to speak as we do. Our hearts control our words. People and situations simply provide the occasion for the heart to express itself. That's my favorite one of all.
Okay, interpret that for me. I'm going to stare at it.
Okay. Really? It's not the people and situations that cause you to say things. It's what's in your heart and how you react to things.
Right.
Because what is in your heart is going to come out of your mouth. Right. Always.
Right. So
it's not situations, it's not people that, well, they just made me so mad. And no, what's in your heart's going to come out of your mouth.
Right.
So you can't blame it on somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Don't let people control your... If you're steady in your heart and peaceful in your heart... Oh, is that him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he looks
He's
like a character.
Years
he
old.
looks good for 73. pastor, award-winning author, Paul David Tripp.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll have to check him out. Yeah, 3 people could witness the same thing and feel it 3 different ways. You know, it's
feel it, but what's in their heart is actually who they are.
Yeah, how you handle it, I guess is what I'm
Right.
saying. Like, why aren't you more upset? Why aren't you angry like I am? You know, one person could throw something, another person could be, I'm so mad, and the other person could be like, well, I'm sorry that happened, but it's not going to control my day and control my life. And it's the strength you have to call on, you know, and the knowledge you have to call on to deal with things. I totally agree. I mean, I totally deal with things differently now than I used to. I used to get more
Angry?
yeah, more emotional, and what are they doing that to me for? And why don't they like me? Or what? Now I got a long way to go, but I am at peace with who I am and feel confident in my beliefs, that I can't be swayed from certain things. You know, you feel like, no, I don't think, maybe they're right. Maybe I should do, and I'm always open to somebody giving me advice, but when you're steady in your belief, nothing really matters. Nothing of the ick matters to you like it used to. It's a great place to be. We've talked about that many times, but I slip up and forget sometimes.
You do?
That's already figured out. Yeah, sometimes I'll think, I'm so disappointed that happened. And then I think,
oh, I get disappointed and I get my feelings hurt and everything, but I do try to react way different than I used to.
Yeah.
And I just go,
yeah. I try to think it through and think through somebody else's perspective and sleep on it and weigh it in the grand scheme of life. Is that something worth blowing up a relationship over? Usually it's not, you know.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I like those tea. I really like him. I hope you'll bring more stuff from Paul.
Well.
And his mustache.
Okay. And his mustache.
He looks
what
like
killed
fun.
me is you went, well, he looks good for 73 years old.
He is. He's handsome.
Well, good. Yeah.
That might be a really old photograph.
It could be. Who knows? I don't know. All right, have you got anything else on ducks?
I do want to add real quick. We're going to do
Please
Tia
do.
time. Do you have anything else? Do you have any other?
I'm done.
Okay.
Darling.
Dolly Parton, your and I's favorite. We did a whole episode dedicated to her. The only person we've ever done a whole episode about. We'll do one again about somebody that's special to us. She has a cookbook out with her sister. I'm sure you're aware. I thought it would be a great Christmas gift for someone. Even if you don't cook that much, some people collect cookbooks. And it's called Good Looking Cooking, A Year of Meals, A Lifetime of Family and Friends. I just discovered it reading an article about her. And I thought, what? She's got a cookbook?
You didn't know that?
Uh-uh.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
Well,
I saw an interview with her and her sister.
Isn't her sister pretty? They look a lot alike, don't they?
Yeah, but that's her youngest sister.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
They look
beautiful.
the same age. Yeah. I mean, look at them. They look like twins. Rachel, I think is her name. Yeah, Rachel Parton George. And they said that Dolly sings, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? When she walks into her sister's kitchen. And
They're both really good singers, too.
Oh, she sings, too.
Absolutely.
How would you like to be a singer and your sister be Dolly Parton? You'd be like, never mind. She's got that down. But she does sing with them sometimes, doesn't she? Like her family used to sing when didn't her brother pass recently? Randy, I think. But anyway, they've got like, it's great for Christmas, like they said, or even Thanksgiving. You'll learn how much butter or whipped cream goes into a Dolly dollop. So she'll say like, add a Dolly dollop of butter or a Dolly dollop. It's a measurement, which I thought was really cute. And some of the recipes, of course, they're going to be comfort country food. Country ham and biscuits, barbecue spare ribs, meatloaf, slaw of many colors, mac and cheese, strawberry shortcake. I just think that sounds fun.
Obviously, she doesn't eat any of this.
I wonder about that. How does she do it? I read one day her diet method is take one bite of everything. Like she'll go through the buffet at the Thanksgiving dinner, get everything, just take a bite of each thing. She just wants a taste. Now, I don't not recommend that because I don't know if you can get enough nutrition doing that, but whatever she's doing, she's looking good, feeling
well.
good. Got her energy.
Doing extremely well.
Yeah, she never stops. So I'll include a link to that, but I just wonder if my sister might like that. Of course, she listens, so want. Ooh, the banana pudding on the cover. Yum, yum.
Now that probably is the one, but I have not had banana pudding like my aunt used to make it since she passed.
So it's kind of
And that
spoiled
used
for
to be,
you.
yeah.
What is your idea of a good banana pudding? Like banana ratio to...
Yeah, I don't make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like... you like more whipped cream than... There used to be a restaurant we go to and it had a lot of whipped cream and less bananas. I like more pudding than bananas.
I like... Yeah, more pudding than... Not a big whipped cream.
Oh, you're not? So you like the pudding part, the
And the
banana and the
bananas.
crunch?
Yes.
The vanilla wafers, yeah. So I'll include a link. Looks yummy. Now I'm hungry. All right, we're going to get out of here so Tia can do her Tia time. I have no idea what it's going to be. I can't wait to listen to it myself. And Tia, I think I've said before, I listen to you record it, and then I edit it, and I really hear it the second time around.
I don't really hear it until I listen.
Yeah, because you're concentrating on what you're saying. Yeah, you're trying not to screw it up.
Yeah, but I do every single time. Oh, yay, Tia.
But the one last week, if you guys haven't listened to our Giggles and Gratitude of 1020 about God has been around.
To speak in his
Yeah, people think God didn't exist.
God is
here's
the
your
Word.
proof.
The Word is God. And
God is the Word.
Yeah.
Which was hard to read, but great to hear. You know.
Yeah.
If he is the Word, then the Word
is God, and God is.
God is the Word. That song, What's the Word? It's God.
Mm-hmm.
What was the word in that song? Up. Word up. Word up is God. All right. I'm going to stop. I'm behind. All right, Tia, I love you very much. We hope you'll listen to our Bachelorette recap. It seems so funny to say that after we're talking about God.
I know. Boy, is it.
Bachelorette recap on Wednesdays. It's almost over. We're coming to the home stretch. So it's fun. It's fun, and we laugh at it. All right. We thank you guys for listening. Love you, everybody, and Tia time is next. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to Tia Time. Today's is from YouVersion, and the title is Hold On to What's True. Reading Scripture is vital to our intimacy with God. God's Word is our weapon. It's alive, active, and sharper than any two-edged sword. And when we hide Scripture in our heart, it helps us battle with the forces of evil. We have an enemy, and the last thing he wants us to do is to trust God and His Word. Our spiritual enemy wants to keep us in a place of doubt and insecurity. But when we know who we are, we can confidently demolish every lie that distracts us. Below are some common lies we all believed, and the truth we need to remember to overcome them. Lie we believe, I am a failure, and I can't do anything right. God's truth, I may struggle, but I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Lie we believe, if God cared, why would He let these hardships happen to me? God's truth, I know that God causes everything to work together for His glory and my good. God's grace is sufficient for me, and His power is perfected through my weakness. Lie we believe, I'll always be this way. God's truth, I can change because I belong to Christ. The old me has gone and the new me is here. Think through the lies you've believed. It's easier to entertain lies when we allow them to become a part of us. But once you recognize the lies you've internalized, you're halfway to victory. God gave us His Word so we could know the truth, and it's His truth that sets us free. Let's start living more like the conquerors we are and apply the life-giving, hope-delivering, and devil-kicking power provided to us through God's Word. I do think this one's yummy because if we actually lived it and don't believe the lies that we think of ourselves or the lies that people tell us and believe in what God has said about us, we're there. I mean, we are conquerors. So I hope everybody has a blessed week.